Welcome to DMac SMaK for July 10th, 2025. Over here, I've got the Tour de France going. The Peloton has a 2-minute and 24-second break with a long way to go, 74 miles still to go. Tadej Pogačar in yellow. Jonas Vingegaard in green. No, polka dot. Vingegaard in polka dot and Milan in green. Well, he'll be in green now because he won the sprint stage. Listen, more of the Tour de France update in a little bit. I know you can't wait for it. We have grades out for the Broncos in the offseason, according to ESPN. Stick around, figure out how they did. 3 moments of zen. John C. Reilly singing happy birthday at Wrigley Field to Jack White, a waterfall engagement that did not go right, and yes, the bang fight with Nick Tarnasky, which looks just awesome. But we start with Michael Porter Jr. and a really cool video that he put out, Curious Mike, back into effect. Get to that in a second, plus a Jonas update. I don't think he's that bad of a guy. I think he's, well, hang on. I'll tell you what I think he is. First of all, I want to encourage you, and is Patrick Mahomes fat? We cover all the important stories here on DMac SMaK, including our great friends at Journey Spice. There's the QR code for Journey Spice, where you can save yourself 10% using the code 10 Nuggets. It's crawling down below you, but in all sorts of food fashion, whether you're getting that's like a salmon sandwich, and we're taking that's one of our viewers, listeners, Robert, who's fantastic. There's a breakfast sandwich. Put it on some salmon. We put it on some pork. We put it on, well, you put it on basically everything. It's Journey Spice. Journey Spice for the win. And the QR code, non-GMO, no salt, no sugar, singles, 2-packs, 4-packs, flavor in, plastic out. We love Journey Spice. Find them at Amazon.com. They are the best. And Rosa, so close to my heart. Thank you guys. Love you guys. We'll take your comments too and get to those as we roll along. Good morning, DMac. It's almost training camp, baby. Nice to see all my PhD members back yesterday. Yeah, it was great to have everybody back. Tyler actually came back even though he didn't have to. I don't know how many times that's happened to you, but Tyler forgot like how many days he had put in for a vacation. Well, if you're not doing anything, come on in. What the hell? We just sit around and talk sports. Ain't much to it. All right. In terms of Michael Porter Jr., put out a pretty cool video yesterday. Really classy. The first thing he did in his video, and he's in St. Croix or Turks and Caicos or, I don't know, Aruba. I don't know. He's somewhere really nice. And he told the story about how he heard about getting traded, and he was on the plane without any kind of communication. So it was a little tricky. He told a story about what they plan to do, which is interesting to see. Maybe things kind of twisted and turned at the last second, or at least maybe some of the Nuggets brass might not have known everything that was going on. I don't know. I'll leave that up to your interpretation. And his relationship with Cam Johnson. We'll just start with, where Michael felt and you got to understand, he was nothing but classy in this video. Incredibly classy. Very appreciative. I mean, you couldn't have done a classier video. And he talks about his roles.
I'm really excited for this next chapter out here in Brooklyn. I think over there in Denver, I felt like my ceiling had kind of plateaued. We have a very we just have a way of playing, and how Joker plays, how Jamal plays, that two-man game is very potent, and that's how we play. And I'm so appreciative of the way we play. We end up winning a championship, but I do feel like my ceiling in Denver kind of plateaued a little bit, and I'm excited for this next chapter in Brooklyn for sure. It's crazy because me and Cam are actually boys. We're pretty cool, We're even having talks of swapping homes. He might stay in my crib in Denver. I might stay where he lived in Brooklyn. But anyways, obviously Denver got a great player and a great dude, and I'm excited for him to be able to finally, compete for a championship over there. And I myself am excited to expand my game and be able to do what I do.
Okay. I think he's not doing anything but telling you the truth right there. There's only so far his game was going to go here because the two-man game with Murray and Jokic is, it is what it is. Fantastic. It's why Cam Johnson overall is probably a better fit, and MPJ do different things. I think he's just being honest here and not being bitter whatsoever. He goes on to talk about the fact that he ran into John Wallace, one of the GMs of the Nuggets, and had a different impression of what was going to happen.
I was walking around my my home in Denver. I actually was staying at the Four Seasons Residences, and I was down there at the bar or something, and I ran into John Wallace. I didn't even know he was the newly appointed GM because I'm off social media, so I had no idea. I ran into him, we sat down, we talked for a while, and he started telling me, how we're gonna build the team, who he wants to get, who he wants to surround us with, and who he wants in the second unit. He wants to find a point guard that could feed me the ball in the second unit, all this stuff, getting me really excited. But I also think he heard in my voice that I kind of, wanted to grow my game. I didn't want to plateau. I want to keep getting better throughout my career. And I think he also heard that. But I had no idea, from that conversation, I'm thinking we're going to make some changes. We're going to move some things around. I'm going to feel more comfortable next year coming back in with that second unit. And I was excited for it. So when I heard the news, when I got the text from John Wallace and, my agent, I was shocked. But at the end of the day, that's the NBA, that's the business.
Well, that's an interesting series of events there, isn't it? Ran into John Wallace. They talked about, hey, how we're going to make the second unit better. And the vibe that MPJ gave back was probably not as positive. I don't think he was intentionally trying to get himself kicked out of there, but it might have been a situation where Wallace is like, oof, okay. This maybe isn't quite the vibe or attitude that we were kind of looking for. And who knows what sent what in action. Listen, it was just time. It was time. And the contract of MPJ is better served on a team that's going to make him a bigger priority. Let's be honest, okay? That's just the truth. So it's a great opportunity for Michael Porter Jr. He probably will find now a career where he bounces around, maybe like Durant, to 4 or 5 teams over his career, whereas Jamal may go to one other team. Jokic isn't going anywhere. And that's just his career. And some guys' careers are like that. I've been fired more than 10 times. I've bounced around to a bunch of places. It hasn't been just one place for me. It's not the way it goes for everybody. It'd be nice, but that's just not everybody's story. So Michael Porter Jr. is just being honest. He thinks he has another level to grow his game, and he's going to look for a place to do it. And I doubt it stops in Brooklyn. Brooklyn is a rebuilding team themselves. They had 5 first-round draft picks. They're not really going anywhere. He knows that. Notice that he talked about if you're coming to the Nuggets is for championship aspirations, and the Nets is somewhere to, rebuild your game. But that being said, I wish him the best. It's an 11-minute video from Curious Mike. I would advise you to go check it out. I thought he was gracious. I thought he was eloquent, classy. I thought it was cool, top to bottom. Meanwhile, if we're just talking a little bit about the Nuggets here, and we'll get to is Mahomes fat in a second, and get to your comments as well. Throw them in the comments section there. Love to read them. We have a podcast with Cam Johnson and Timothy Hardaway Jr., and they're excited to be playing with Jokic.
Oh,
Look at that smile.
honestly, a big part of it is not having against him no more. Because he's a problem. He's just a problem. That's it. Period. And he can pass, he can rebound, he can score, he can come, you know what I mean? You don't know what you're going to get on any given day, like kind of what mode he's in. But man, just it's an uncanny ability he has, spatial awareness, just how he feels the game, how he understands the game. Like he does it in a way different than anybody else in the league. It's made him, you know, one of the best players in the league and one of the best players in league history. From a pure numbers perspective, you're not really touching his output over the past couple of years. Mm-hmm. And it's not accidental. Like he's just that good. So to be able to play off of that, to be able to make those reads, like me and Tim both will really enjoy playing off these high level players where we're able to cut, find open spots, get up and down the court, make the right play, and it can just be simple, you know. It can just
not force the issue as much.
Exactly. It can just be simple, knowing that everybody who's on the court, they're going to make the right play, they're going to make the right read. And I think that's the kind of basketball that the front office is striving for. And that's really how they've played for the most part since I've been in the league, and they've been really good at it.
So for us, I really do think that just walking into this situation is we're going to strive. It's going to be great. But a lot of that's going to come to just like getting stops and getting easy buckets and going out there having a.
Yeah, man, it's exciting to have both these guys on the team. Everybody's excited for it. It's a new breath of fresh air. And today we actually have Nuggets action. How about that? It's on Altitude TV. Make sure you're watching, because today I'm looking about who they're playing. We've got Denver at Milwaukee at 7:30. I love it. So we get to see Tamar Bates and Deron Holmes, Spencer Jones, Hunter Tyson, some of these guys that, you know, don't get to play as much, and they get to have more of a starring role for the Nuggets Summer League. So really excited to see all that against Milwaukee. Again, that is on Altitude TV. Looking forward to that. Right on. Okay, moving on to the Broncos. The ESPN has released their grades for the offseason, including the draft and free agency. In order, the Rams get an A, the Niners get an A-, the Cardinals get an A-, and so do your Denver Broncos. Biggest move, they said, re-signing DJ Jones. The move they disliked, not adding more at wide receiver. We've talked about that quite a bit. I'll just read from the review. The Broncos ended last season as the best defensive league by EPA per play, and decided to get even better. They signed Dre Greenlaw, Talona Hufanga, DJ Jones, and used their first pick on Jahdae Barron. So the defense is excellent. The move I like best is bringing back Jones. I can get on board with Hufanga and Greenlaw moves. The biggest offensive additions was tight end Evan Engram, Sean Payton and Nix, another phenomenal playmaker. I want to see the Broncos do more at receiver. Besides counting on Cortland, Sutton, and Engram, they're likely hoping for Marvin Mims Jr. or Troy Franklin to break out. That is true. Maybe they'll end up making moves for another veteran, Keenan Allen or Mari Cooper. It wouldn't surprise me if they do add some sort of veteran presence, some sort of, you never know sort of deal. Wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. But, he doesn't even mention J.K. Dobbins coming into the running back room and R.J. Harvey that they, are leaning on. We'll see. Like, the addition of Jahdae Barron is by far the most interesting one. When you look up, there were a couple of receivers, a couple of running backs, and like 3 tight ends that were all very highly regarded that they passed on because they took Barron, and then they actually moved down a couple times to take Harvey because they probably overdrafted Harvey, and they overdrafted Harvey by still moving down in the draft. But because they took Barron where they took him, and because where their second-round draft pick was, they didn't have much choice. They knew that was going to happen. We can either take Barron or take either a higher valued running back, receiver, or tight end. And instead they took Barron. So it is a, hey man, we trust the organization sort of move. But again, the Nuggets got high marks in the offseason, and so have the Broncos, rightfully so. I'll be surprised if this isn't an 11-win team. I'll be surprised if they're not they're certainly a playoff team at 11 wins, and I think they're a wild card winning team. What happens in the second round? The rubber meets the road. You're facing now the Bills or the Ravens or somebody like that. But I think they are a high wild card seed, and they'll probably have to beat somebody like the Texans in the first round, which I think is very, very doable. So I am super stoked for training camp. Can't wait to see what the Broncos have in store for us. And I'm just dying to get out there at Dove Valley. Excited for all of it. I'm sure you are too. So we'll be covering all of it top to bottom. Don't you worry. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Altitude Sports Radio YouTube channel. And again, your comments, more than welcome. In fact, let me see what we got here. Shout out to DMac. Shout out to you, Ryan. Good to see you, pal. Is Cam better than MPJ? He might be a better fit and a more consistent presence for what the team needs during the playoffs. I don't think you're going to see any 30-point nights from Cam Johnson like you could at the drop of the bucket from MPJ. But for what the Nuggets need both offensively and defensively, it probably is going to be a better fit. And if not a better fit, a good enough fit. And because the price is right, it has afforded the Nuggets to do a bunch of other things to add depth to the team. So it's a complicated question. I think there may be some superstar nights. Like Michael Porter Jr.'s never had a 40-point night. I bet you anything he clears the decks of that with Brooklyn relatively early in his time there. And it might be a time when you see him put up 40 or 45 or something like that in Brooklyn and be like, oh, man, we blew it. That wasn't the point. We know Michael Porter Jr. can do that. Really haven't seen those moments out of Cam Johnson, but he did have a great year despite missing a bunch of games. He averaged more points per game than Michael Porter Jr. His three-point shooting percentage-wise was on par with Michael Porter Jr., and he cost you $17 million less a year. Not bad. Did the Avs cost themselves a Stanley Cup by trading Mikko, and has that move closed their championship window? No, not at all. The Avs are a very solid team. It just didn't really, blend the way we were hoping with Natchez and McKinnon. You give it another year together. They've made some interesting additions. They've lost some players that we liked, but, the Avs will be okay. The Avs will be okay. Whether they're a championship contender, we got a long way to go. So we shall see. Good morning, DMac. You and I was a little surprised how bad the Rockies played at Fenway. Ghosts of October past. Well, RJ, it's like you're the producer of my show. The Rockies were embarrassed and humiliated by the Red Sox. 9-3, 10-2, and 10-2. Just embarrassed. And yesterday was no different. They were down like 5-0. Kind of came back a little bit, but then, ultimately just gave up the cookies in a humiliating sort of way to lose 10-2. Sensatel is terrible. I've told you he's terrible the entire year. He's 3-13. How he's won 3 games beyond me. 5 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs, all earned, 3 strikeouts and 1 walk. Gave up 2 dingers. Just was throwing batting practice. Doesn't throw hard, doesn't throw complicated. Nothing to think about. Rolson came in for an inning. He gave up a run. And then Seth Halverson. And the game was sort of still kind of in the mix as we go to the 8th inning. Like, it's kind of interesting. And Halverson sucked from the jump. He was terrible. And it was obvious he was terrible. And Warren Schaefer just stupidly left him in the game. So Warren Schaefer more and more is looking like 2.0 Bud Black. 4 hits, 5 runs, all earned, 2 home runs. He just didn't have it. And it was obvious he didn't have it. And they made no moves whatsoever. They eventually went to Hergert. He gave up a hit, but no runs with a strikeout. and at least got out of the inning. But Halverson was so bad. It's the worst that I've seen him. And he looked bad right away. And again, no movement, nothing. Meanwhile, the Red Sox were just cruising. Oh my gosh. I'm going to blow the pronunciation of the name. Lucas Giolito, just cruising. His father was George's fiance's father on Seinfeld. Susan. Remember Susan licking the envelopes and dying? One of the darker storylines of all time. His grandfather was her father on Seinfeld. 6 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 6 strikeouts, no walks, 92 pitches, 63 strikes. Owned the Rockies. Owned them. Campbell goes in for total garbage time and gives up a 2-run homer to Kyle Farmer. Listen, this was pathetic by the Rockies, who are now 21-72. And this is setting all sorts of other, you really do suck records. And by the amount of people that are not even paying attention now to my little March Towards History watch-alongs, it really makes me wonder, should I bother with that? And I'll reassess after the All-Star break. We got the Reds this weekend, so I'll probably hit you with March Towards History. But I was doing March Towards History, in all honesty, because I was actually impressed with how the Rockies were playing. They were losing a lot of close games. I thought they had a lot of fight. I thought they had a lot of, some courage. But recently, against the White Sox and the Red Sox, it just looks like a team that's quit. That's what they look like. Sloppy at bats, mediocre play in the field, horrible pitching, no consistency, and bad moves by the manager. And I'm like, oh, wow. Well, whatever momentum Warren Schaefer thinks that he gained is apparently gone. And now, if you notice the moves yesterday, DJ LeMahieu of the Yankees, with $22 million left owed him, was dumped by the Yankees. How about that? We're going to dump you when we still owe you $22 million. Well, why? Well, they put Jazz Chisholm, who's a great young player, over to second base from third. They are going to make a move for a third baseman. And this screams to me Ryan McMahon. Now, Ryan hasn't been a great hitter, but he's also a lefty bat. And if Ryan just doesn't work out permanently, then he'll go into some sort of rotation. But the Yankees can pick him up now for nothing. And they know it. So I'm going to guess that this move to dump DJ LeMahieu this is a guess on my part, but my guess it's to make room for Ryan McMahon. So do not be surprised if that deal happens. If not Ryan McMahon, maybe there's another third baseman out there on some sort of crappy club. But I don't know anybody who has the experience, the defensive capabilities. I think Ryan McMahon has just simply given up on the Rockies. If you really watch Ryan McMahon's body language, the way he approaches things, this guy wants to be gone. So does Jake Bird. Both of them. You can tell from this Red Sox series, both of them just want to get the hell out of Dodge. So I would acquiesce to their desires, and I would trade both of them. So not much to think about with Ryan McMahon. It's an easy deal to do. The Yankees clearly have made room for him. So just get it done. And hopefully we can watch Ryan McMahon lose a World Series to the Dodgers. Yeesh. Can't root for the Yankees. So that's what I think is going on there. Two funny, deep Seinfeld connections. You get it all here. What's the long-term solution for the Rockies? Or is that too in-depth for this show? We're terrible. It's Ryan, it's way too deep. It's hard to fathom that the Rockies are 51 games below 500 before the All-Star break. What, if anything, should the league do about it? Nothing. The league should do nothing. Some teams are good. Some teams suck. The league doesn't owe the Rockies fans or the Rockies organization a damn thing. We have a waterfall engagement going tragically wrong. We have a very sweet happy birthday salute to Jack White and the bang fight, all still to come. It was interesting, stick around, that Warren Schaefer, there was more than 2 people asking him questions. And it was interesting when somebody, I'm going to guess, who's affiliated with, excuse me, the Red Sox or some other organization, asked Warren Schaefer questions. Because if you're from out of town, what's the most obvious thing to ask the skipper of the Rockies is like, are you okay here? I mean, you're losing at such a prolific clip. Like, how do you keep the morale up? That sort of thing. And Schaefer bristled.
Rocks and Sox series, first regular season sweep for either team. Last time, the sweep was the World Series, but this is the 11th sweep for the Rockies. Which feels worse? I mean,
11th sweep for the Rockies this year, you mean?
Of the Rockies.
From anybody.
From the season, yeah.
Yeah, we just go day to day. I'm just looking for tomorrow. I mean, I don't think about that. We're moving on, moving forward. Trying to get the Reds day after tomorrow. That's all we got to think about.
And how do you stay focused and motivated when you're having a slump?
Yeah, when you're a group of guys around each other all the time, playing in the biggest stadiums in the world on a nightly basis, if you can't get yourself motivated to try to win a ball game together with guys that you love and that you're with every single day of the year for every waking hour, if you can't get it up to compete that night, shame on you. I think it's easy for us to do because everybody in there loves each other, pulling for each other. And we're just trying to go out there and get better every day and win ball games.
All right, asking him which feels worse, getting swept 11 times this year or getting swept by the Red Sox in the World Series. Granted, that's a stupid question. I'll give you that. You got swept by the Red Sox in the World Series in 2007. Okay, that's idiotic. I got you. But asking, basically how you stay motivated and the message to everybody, well, all right, I'll roll with you on that. I'm curious about that myself. So it's good that everybody loves everybody and whatever. But I think Schaefer is just way, way too close to the situation to see what's really going on. And the problem with Warren Schaefer right now is he was with these guys when they were in single A and double A and triple A. He's kind of raised them. He's not that old, but he is definitely a father figure to a lot of these young guys. So I don't think he's very objective on some things. And I think he's a little too defensive. I do like how he holds players accountable more than Bud Black, and anybody's better than Bud Black. But I'm seeing a lot of tendencies from Warren Schaefer that, he probably does take it too easy on these guys, in all honesty, overall. Even though I like him holding Dolander accountable and they sent him down. Beck accountable and he didn't play the next day. Estrada accountable. I mean, I like that. But then again, there's nothing all that special about Warren Schaefer, and his closeness to the players is probably hurting his objectivity, and then you're defensive. And yeah, I love it. Everybody loves everybody. Okay. ELE. Awesome. If you're a member of the Flint Tropics, you're going to win the 4th place bowl, whatever that was. But this isn't the right approach to win games in Major League Baseball, unfortunately. And right now, and I go back and forth on Warren Schaefer, but right now it's just more of Bud Black talk, and that ain't going to work. And the message needs to be, if these guys aren't going to perform, and you heard this from Malone and Jared Bednar and Sean Payton, if these guys aren't going to perform, we're going to find other guys that are going to do it. So it's great. Everybody loves everybody, but I'll tell you this: if you can't do what we need you to do, we'll try to find somebody else who can. And for Halverson, who was terrible, all right, moving on. I guess it sucks because you do throw 100 miles an hour and you look pretty dangerous. But we're gonna find guys who want to be here, who can do the job. And Ryan McMahon does not want to be here. Neither does Jake Bird. And while I'm not a big advocate of, giving crybaby athletes their way, that's not, and I know Ryan McMahon's not a crybaby, and okay. Look at his approaches at the plate. Plays very solid defense. Look at his approaches at the plate. Look at his body language. Just take a peek at it from an objective point of view. He needs to go. See ya. The Rockies. Thank God they have a day off today. Deep breaths. All right, we have some really funny stuff coming up here. So hang in there because we'll see a waterfall engagement go tragically wrong, the bang fight, and a happy birthday to Jack White. A couple of your comments first. On pace to win 36 games. Shouldn't the MLB care about parity? There's enough good teams. They don't need to say it. Well, you said it. They're just a group of guys hanging around each other, not a team, not an organization. It's frustrating for sure. All right, we have some fun stuff we'll get to in a second. First, this from our great friends at Journey Spice.
There's a world of flavor out there, and to find it, you have to take the journey. Journey Spice Company handcrafts the most premium spice and seasoning blends that have no sugar, no salt, are certified USDA organic, non-GMO, vegan-friendly, and always planet-friendly. You are going to love serving amazingly delicious creations while knowing you helped reduce single-use plastics. Make sure to search for Journey Spice Company on Amazon today.
Spice, you guys are the absolute best. We love you, Journey Spice. Save 10% using the code 10nuggets at Amazon.com. Engagements. Certain things are not meant to be. And this is a sure sign.
Oh, Jamie, no! Oh my, no! Oh my God!
All right, let's go through that again. I got my buddy. He's in the woods. I'm in some sort of rainforest. It's idyllic. I'm making too much of the engagement, and here I am.
Oh, Jamie, no! Oh my, no! Oh my God!
So again, we anticipated this would be very romantic, and now we're moving on to another bachelor.
Oh, Jamie, no! Oh my, no! Oh my God!
Nice knowing you. Meanwhile, let's have some fun. John C. Reilly, great actor, wishing Jack White happy birthday at Wrigley Field.
To my friend Jack White. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Come on, Detroit. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jack. Happy birthday to you. Play ball!
I'm a mile long and 3 inches deep. Comerica Park in Detroit, not Wrigley. My bad. Sorry, apologies to that. But cool moment. I love John C. Reilly. Jack White's a genius. So very cool when they blend. He does look like a vampire at a baseball game. Like when you see like a very artistic, sort of dark, musician, just like at a sunny hot dogs and beer baseball game, you realize they don't get out in the sun very much. But happy birthday to Jack White. And finally, we wrap up with the story of Nick Tarnasky, who played in the KHL, played 6 years in the NHL, big center, tough dude, played for I think his last year was in 2016 for the San Diego Gulls. And all he's doing now is playing, golf with his pals up in Canada at Red Mountain House hood, moose jaw, whatever. And they're up there in Canada and they're hammered and the group in front of them's hammered. And all they want to do, all Nick Tarnowski wants to do is keep playing golf. But there's a group in front of them that's slow and drunk and they get into words as Canadians will do. And then Nick Tarnowski ends up throwing a drunk fool in a pond and then providing his own sound effects for the greatest golf fight of all time, which we present to you right now.
Bingo.
I don't know what you're doing. You're not scaring anybody. You're just making yourself.
Hey, man. Come on, man.
He's about to go into the pond.
Hey.
Into the pond.
Off to a good start, buddy.
I fucking
Off to a good start, buddy.
You want one too? Came at me. Alone, man. I got it all on record. It's around the
record. He's got it on record. Here we go.
Hey. You want to fucking go, guys? Leave him alone. Hey, leave him alone, man.
I wouldn't keep going back, you fucking moron.
Hey. Come on, man. I'm not trying to get in there. Fuck.
Enough! Are you still cheering on you?
I think he should be thrown.
Get out!
Gets up again.
Hey.
Whee!
Enough! Hey. Get him the fuck out of here!
No, it's not going to go well for
It's not okay.
Take him home or get
How is that not the funniest thing of all time? I'm glad nobody's hurt. I don't want anybody to be injured, but you go from the pump up, like he's pumping himself up to take on a guy. This Nick Tarnowski guy is huge. 6'2", 225 was his fighting weight in hockey, but I mean, he's easily 240, 250 now. But it doesn't look like he's given up on the barbell curls or the 12-ounce curls. But he's got a ton of penalty minutes, career penalty minutes. He's like up to 900 with over 200 penalty minutes in the NHL. I mean, you're going against somebody who's fought, and you can see Tarnowski's got the experience and he fights like a hockey guy. Like, it's like he grabs the shirt and then delivers the punches. It's not like a jab, punch, whatever. No. He's going to hockey fight you. He's going to grab you by the shirt and then give you his own sound effects. He's going to throw you in the pond, give you his own sound effects, and toss you like a bag of wheat. I got to play this for you guys one more time. So here we go. The greatest golf/hockey fight ever. The most Canadian thing of all time.
Bingo. I don't know what you're doing. You're not scaring anybody. You're just making
And listen for the comment about how it's starting.
Man. Come on, man.
Pond. Here comes.
Hey.
Off to a good start, buddy.
I fucking told you. Man, leave him alone. You want one too? Came at me. Alone, man. I got it all on
Off to
record.
a good start, buddy. Here he comes.
I got it
It's
all
on record. Holds him.
Hey,
Right.
fucking go, guys.
Yeah, hockey fight. Yeah, you get away, pal.
Go back, you fucking moron.
Hey.
Bang.
Come on, man. I'm not trying to get in there. Fuck.
Enough! Are you still cheering
Enough, he told him.
Enough.
Is it enough?
Get
Nah, he's coming back.
Hey.
Whee!
Enough.
He's going to go for it.
Get him the fuck out of here.
No, it's not going to go well.
Tarnowski was on with Biz for Spit and Chicklets. Spit and Chicklets guys are great. I am dying to see the interview that Tarnowski gives with Biz about all of this stuff. So I look forward to it. And I know they recorded it. I saw them promoting it. I'm crying. I'm still crying. I'm crying every time I look at this thing. It's the best. Was that dude okay? Yeah, I think so. Mind if I play through? Thank you to my great friends at Journey Spice. Thank you for watching. Again, if you're on YouTube, you can watch two things at the same time. So you can watch this live. You can watch Moses Lombardi and Kane. Whatever you need, whatever you want. On from noon to 3 with Tyler and Scott. And no march towards history. Rockies have the day off. And hopefully Ryan McMahon gets traded today. That's it. Have a spectacular day. Kick today in the teeth. Bang, bang, bang.